Hi, I'm Jason Mcdonald. I'm a senior trading mentor at the Institute of Trading and Portfolio Management, and I'm here this evening at Warwick University to give a seminar on how to become a professional trader and also to introduce the students to the work of the Institute. So let's go inside and meet some of the students. Yeah, so far we've had a German guy who's an exchange student, and we've also got a young lady who's only in her first year actually, and she's already done some work experience at UBS, one of the investment banks in the city. So we've got quite a broad range of people here, I think. I don't think it's crucial, but obviously the earlier you start with everything, the bigger a head start you're going to get. So you definitely, if you know that you're interested in the city, then why not start sooner rather than later. But of course some people don't actually know what they want to do until they get to their last year, and that's fine as well. But obviously if you've already got an interest and you know that that's the direction that you would like to take, then of course. I left the industry after a long career, basically proprietary trading at the banks and working for a hedge fund as a portfolio manager in 2009. And since that time, I've been still trading my own money, working for the Institute as a mentor, which is basically a one-to-one coach for people who want to be mentored in terms of trading and portfolio management. The market is still teaching me lessons, believe it or not. So I've seen lots of cycles. I've seen from the aftermath of the pound getting kicked out of the exchange rate mechanism. I've seen the Russians defaulting on their government bonds, the Asian crisis, the dot-com boom and bust, the subsequent bull market, the global financial crisis, and now potentially, what are we going into now? Who knows? The history is there to be written, and we still don't know what's going to happen as a result of all the extraordinary measures that central banks around the world have taken. A lot of my students, they think basically that what I want to see is perfect scores. Every trade is a winning trade. That is just totally unrealistic. Even the best traders, they're only going to get 55, 60% of their calls correct. The most important thing is A, what you do with the losers, and B, how your portfolio is constructed. Time and time again, is the natural human instinct is basically to cut winners too early and to run losers for too long. And then what happens is the losers just overwhelm anything else, anything good that's taking place in the rest of the portfolio, which is bad enough, but then it gets even worse because it also stops you from coming up with new ideas, because all you can think about is that one position that's costing you your year's P&L that is just basically eroding everything else that you're doing. So sometimes, 4 times out of 10, you have to cut trades. Now, psychologically, loss making is much more damaging than profits for the obvious reasons. That's something that if you're going to have a long trading career, it's just something that you've got to deal with. The way that I describe it is I've got, and in fact this has developed as my trading career has got longer, I now have pretty strict risk limits that I impose upon myself. I don't mean like really tight stop losses, but what I mean is if I get to my risk limit or my stop loss, it is literally, I have no emotion whatsoever about closing a trade down. In fact, it's a relief because I don't need to think about it anymore. So what do we think it takes to be a good trader? Knowing your own strengths and weaknesses is so important, because if you don't know your own strengths and weaknesses, the market will kind of find them for you very quickly. You do need to be tenacious, and you need to be able to handle stress, because nobody really has got perfect timing in terms of entry and exit to trades. So sometimes we put on positions and obviously we bear pain on those positions before they come right. Now, if any of you end up going to work as professionals, you'll find that it doesn't matter how cool or how much risk your boss says that they like to take, I guarantee you that when you're making losses or when your positions are not going the right way, they are literally sat on your shoulder like a parrot, asking you every hour, are you sure about that? Is there something we don't know about that? Is there something the market knows that you don't know? Have you missed something? So you need to be tenacious, but you also need to understand when maybe you've got it wrong. So you've got to be objective as well. Generally speaking, you need to be like a sponge, just absorbing as much information as possible. And then one of the key aspects is working out what is noise and what is actually important to either your trade idea or your actual position. Spending as little time as possible on the things that don't matter. And at the end of the day, obviously focusing that risk-adjusted. So it's not just about profit, but it's risk-adjusted profits which are important. So here's an example of a trade that I did. This was actually quite a long-term trade for me. I started putting it on in 2004, held it for the whole of 2004 and into 2005, and then started trading out of it in 2005. And as you can see, that was a very lucrative trade. The average size of the position was a 50 million euro long position, and I made 30 million euros out of that trade over a year and a half. So this is the kind of thing that we get up to. So this is one of my best trades. Right, so just to remind us why we're here, the idea is to try and help you have a bit of understanding about how you might succeed, how your chances of success could be increased by in terms of if you're looking to apply for a job at a hedge fund or an investment bank as a trader. Now, in terms of the number of people that I interviewed when I was in the city, again, the number of people that came to me who had actually run their own money, this is obviously people who are graduates or students at the time, was very, very, very small indeed. So it really, if you can do it, it really does set you apart. Then you end up in a situation where when you go to interview, you're actually saying to them, not in so many words, but you're actually implying to them, well, why should I look at your company? Why should I come and work for you? Look at me. I've got a track record, a successful investment track record. I've been doing this over the last couple of years. Why should I become a trader in your business? So you'll be going along and being interviewed as a peer rather than as a candidate. One of the reasons why Anton set up the Institute was actually to help people who want to go into the industry. The instruction is the 2 courses. The mentoring is the one-on-one coaching. He's designed the course. A lot of it is, well, all of it is based on his experience and obviously what he learnt, particularly in his first job at Goldman's. He's actually got direct experience, as I have, of interviewing on behalf of the banks, so looking for people to come and work for us. And also, apart from placing people at hedge funds, he's actually trained people that have gone on to start up and run their own hedge funds. They're video courses. What's in them? The first one, the PTM, is multi-asset class, gives you a top-down and a bottom-up approach, focusing mainly on equity markets. It's a lot of material. It's 37 hours across 35 videos with lots of spreadsheets and training PDFs. As I say, it's all online and through videos. At the end, there is an exam. You don't have to take it. It's basically there so that you can actually test your own knowledge. And we do offer that if people are interested in applying professionally. And so sometimes the resume text can help open the door. The second course is purely focusing on the foreign exchange market. It's 29 videos. It's loads of spreadsheets. The same deal with the exam and the resume text and the certificate. So that's us. There's no hard sell. You've got until the 28th of February to think about this. Have a look on the website, talk to the office. That's it. Thank you for coming. I think it was a really fantastic evening. It's my first seminar at university, so I've really enjoyed it, and I think it was very useful to the students.
It's clear that he's very experienced, and it's rare to hear someone speak who's really had such a tremendously rewarding experience within the industry, and he's made a lot of money, as you can see from his trades, and to sort of replicate that in the future would be very exciting.
What I found very interesting from this presentation is an honest approach about remuneration of the traders and how the actual rates are working in the real world and what kind of expectation we should have from the industry. So the passion he expressed, he personally had, and what you actually need in order to survive in the industry is something I personally picked up from this presentation.
It gave a different perspective to what we usually hear about what trading entails. I think here you actually see how it is on a more day-to-day basis and what it actually entails, and more the psychological aspect to it. So I think it was really insightful, and I learned more than I didn't know before.
Well, I certainly think Jason has a lot of experience, and he definitely knows his stuff. I believe he would, be a very good mentor, and he would be someone to go to for advice. Well, I think this is a very interesting institution, given that they provide not only mentoring but also courses online. I think it's certainly a very good resource for someone who's interested in the industry and who wants to be better at trading, or start from scratch or improve. And I certainly think that it's something that people should look into if they are interested in the industry.